Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Aaron. We have a special guest. It's the Holy Spirit. He's right here on my shoulder. Just kidding, he lives inside my heart. Still just kidding, it's my son, Zeke. Everyone say, hi Zeke. They're all saying hi to you. What would you say back?
Hello.
You're technically asking two Aarons because my name is Aaron and his name is...
Zeke. Well, my middle name's Aaron.
Yeah, that's my point. So what's your name?
Zeke. Or Ezekiel Aaron Stephan.
Tell them.
Ezekiel Aaron Stephan.
So you're asking Aaron and Ezekiel Aaron. Zeke's going to ask the questions this week because that seemed like something fun to do. So Zeke has been practicing. He's actually giving the announcements tomorrow at his school, Trinity Academy. But he's going to ask our questions, and we'll go from there. So we're practicing loud, slow, and so everyone can hear him. Remember, we're talking to them, not me.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
When I have a choice, is it okay to shop at places that clearly mistreat their workers so I can save money?
First of all, excellent job. Is it okay to use a store where people are mistreated so that you can save money? Here's the deal. You are not going to know the ins and outs of every store. You're not going to know the management at every store or the owner of every store. But if a store comes out and directly mistreats their workers on a grand scale and in a public way and shows no remorse for it, no, I wouldn't shop there. I wouldn't be at any place where people are being mistreated on purpose and not anyone is sorry for it. So this kind of is a loaded question because I know that there are places all throughout the country that support things that we don't support as Christians, that don't necessarily run their business the way that we would run our business as Christians, and we can't just eliminate every single place in the country from where we shop and how we do things. And there are, all sorts of stories about one person being mistreated or, a group of people being let go or what. My point is this. One, don't waste your entire life trying to figure out what every store that you shop at is doing. But two, if you come to knowledge that people are being mistreated, it's a good thing, one, to see if there's a way you can help. Two, to pray about it, and three, to listen and let God and His Holy Spirit convict your heart. And if God says, I don't think this is a place you should be shopping, don't shop there. And if God says, hey, I think you should talk to people who work at the store or find out what's really going on, then you should do that. Talk to your Christian friends, see what they've heard, see what they've experienced. But no, if somebody is absolutely being 100% mistreated and you're aware of it, not a place that we as Christians should frequent. Zeke, next, ask Aaron.
Okay. Alright, ignoring problems isn't okay. Is putting things on the back burner alright?
Son, you are crushing it. Really great job. I'm very proud of the way you ask questions. So ignoring your problems is not okay. That was the sermon I gave this past week. If you missed it, hillcityhudson.org/media. I didn't give my disclaimer. These are my answers, not the church's, but I think they agree. And put your comments in the comment section and continue the conversation. Yeah? Sounds good. Yeah. No, you shouldn't ignore your problems because ignoring your problems is not an actual solution. It just puts things on the back burner and they keep coming up. Now, intentionally putting something on the back burner or giving it some time or letting it simmer or giving it space, sure, that's okay as long as you have a plan to come back to it. Because pushing something to the back burner so that you don't have to think about it or deal with it is not okay unless you have a plan to come back to it. For instance, can I talk about the problem that you and I share together?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeke and I have anxiety. And sometimes it affects how we interact with people, the things we say, the actions that we take. And if we just pretended that anxiety wasn't there, that would be bad, right? If we ignored it, it would be bad. Mm-hmm. But it would be just as bad if we pushed it to the back burner and said, yeah, I'll get around to it eventually, and then didn't have a plan to come back to it. Because what is that really doing? That's ignoring the problem. It's just in a place where you can still see it, because the back burner, right? It's not like in the cupboard, it's on the back burner, but there's things in front of it, and if you never actually get to it, you're still just ignoring the problem. So yes, you can put something on the back burner because there are more pressing matters to deal with in the moment, but you need to have a plan to get back to it. For instance, Zeke, you watch a lot of cooking shows, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happens when somebody puts something in the oven and then they get distracted with all their other stuff? What usually winds up happening?
They like burn a cake or something.
Yeah, they burn their cake or their food because they forget about it and they never come back to it. That is not what you want to do with your problems. You have an
You don't
order.
wanna burn it.
Yeah, you don't want to burn them. So you have an order of pressing problems, and it's okay to put something on the back burner as long as you're going to come back to it. Next question. This one's a tough. You have something to say?
Yeah.
All right, say it.
On Tuesday, because we had a snow day, right?
Yeah.
And I had homework, and
You put it on the back burner.
yeah, I put it on the back burner.
Procrastinated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What happened?
I had to do it later when I wanted to do something else.
Right. Yeah.
But I did get it done pretty quick.
You did do it. I'm proud of you for doing it.
Yeah.
This question is a toughie. Let's hear it.
Could instances like Russia and Ukraine's situations satisfy the wars and rumors of wars spoken of in the Bible?
Great work. Yes. The answer is yes. They could. They absolutely could. Do they? I don't know. Is this the end times? I'm not sure. There's lots of things that have to happen and lots of things that have to be met. And to be totally honest, I don't understand all of it. I am not a Revelation scholar. I have read Revelation, but do I understand all of it? No. And do I pretend to understand how what's happening in current events could be portrayed in a apostolic book or a apocryphal book? No, I don't. Like, I used both of those words wrong. I said apostolic and apocryphic. Neither of those were the words I was getting for.
What do they mean?
I'll tell you later off camera. It's a long. What I meant to say was, I don't always understand how the current events are represented in a book about the end times, and it's a difficult thing to understand. What I can tell you is this: you should be praying that the war in Russia and Ukraine comes to an end and comes to an end quickly, and peace is restored, regardless of what's going on in those countries. God's heart is not for people to be at war or for people to be dying unnecessarily. And so we just want to encourage everyone to be praying about that situation. I know that many of you are posting things on social media and encouraging others to pray, posting things about people you know over there. It is good to humanize for others what's happening across the globe, that there are real people being affected by this, and it's not just about things costing more in our country, gas prices going up, etc. Real people and their lives are being affected by this. And so does it satisfy what's talked about in Revelation? Yeah, maybe, but more importantly, Jesus is going to come back at some point, and we all need to be ready when he does. And right now what we can do is we can pray that this war ends, and it ends quickly. So, next question. One thing.
Hopefully, and this maybe won't go with the question, but hopefully, like the leaders in Russia, they decide, like they realize what they're doing. 'Cause
Yeah.
like you talked about, it's affecting people's lives.
Right.
So we should probably, if they realize that would be a good thing.
It would. I love you.
Love you too. If I sin when you are young and I don't know any better, is it still counted as a sin?
So if you sin when you're a kid,
Yeah.
I know a few kids, and you don't know it's a sin, is it counted as a sin?
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Let me say this. I think that sin is about disobedience in the heart. It's about failing morally and doing something that we know is wrong. And there are all sorts of things that people do that are sinful in some ways and not in others. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a hat today that celebrates the troops and the armed forces and our country. And sometimes the people in our country who are in the military have to go someplace and fight in a war for a good cause to save other people or to help. Yeah, and they're brave and they're amazing. And in doing that, sometimes they have to kill people.
But that's for a good reason because they're protecting us and making
Right,
sure.
it's for what's caused.
And they're trying to make sure they're trying to help the other. I guess they're trying to help the other like the other side, the other country.
Yes.
Figure out what's better for us.
It's
and
a
them.
righteous cause.
Because if they, like, their people are getting killed.
Right.
So
and they're trying to stop that.
If we just stop this war, like if Russia and Ukraine stop their war, no one would be hurt. No one would be
right.
Because Russia, their people could be hurt, not just Ukraine's people.
So it's a righteous cause. It's a good reason to do something that is bad. But if you're just like walking down the street and someone makes you angry, and so you pick up a brick and you smash them on the head and they die, that's murder. And that's a sin.
Don't murder people.
Don't murder people, right? So here's the deal.
Simple as that.
You can do something and have it not be sinful and do the same thing and have it be sinful. So if you're a kid and you do something and you don't know that it's sinful, is it a sin? Probably not. But someone should love you enough to tell you that that thing is bad,
Enough
that you don't do it again. And if it's really bad, like murder, someone should teach you before you have the opportunity to do it in the first place so that you can avoid all of that. Okay? So, Joe Stevenson, I know you asked this question. I'm going to list off for you right now all the things that are sinful so that you can't get away with it. I'm just kidding, buddy. This is a great question. But what's most important is that we read the Bible and we talk to our parents and we learn the difference between right and wrong so that we're not trying to get away with stuff, but we're trying to follow God's plan for our life all the time.
Like play video games all the time.
Yeah, well, playing video games isn't a sin unless your parents
Well,
tell
yes,
you not to do it. And then, yeah,
And
see,
then you do
we
it.
should have used that instead of the murder one.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
Don't scare kids.
Yeah.
Never scare
Sorry.
kids.
We're not doing this again. So, last question.
What is a Nazarite?
What is a Nazarite?
I don't go. I have never heard of the name.
Oh, well, it's a person in the Bible who takes an oath or makes a vow or a promise to follow God in a unique way. And I talked about Samson, who was a Nazarite.
Very strong.
He was very strong, yeah. But he was a Nazarite, and I talked about him on Sunday in church, and then one of my favorite church people came up afterwards and was like, "You only said that he wasn't supposed to cut his hair. You didn't say the other things." So here is what a Nazarite is not supposed to do. A Nazarite is not supposed to cut their hair. A Nazarite...
Why are they supposed to cut their hair, though?
Because God said.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not supposed to drink wine or beer or touch anything that can be used to make wine or beer.
Okay.
And they're also not supposed to touch a dead body or be like around dead bodies. Now Samson, he killed some people and he was around some dead bodies and he also had his hair cut.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he ever drank wine. He did not live up to God's call on his life. But here's the deal. There are more Nazarites in the Bible. There is John the Baptist. He was a Nazarite.
Yeah.
And the prophet Samuel was also a Nazarite. And some people, I mean, rightfully in a lot of ways, consider Jesus to be a Nazarite.
Well, yeah,
You don't know anything about that. Trust me, I don't even know all the things about that. But I'm saying Samson's not the only Nazarite. It's a person who takes a vow to follow God in a special way, and those are the things they're not supposed to do, not just not cut their hair. Okay? So,
and one thing.
what do you want to say?
Because Jesus did the miracle to turn water into wine, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't know if he drank it. Do you know if he drank it?
No, but I'm saying.
I mean, he did drink wine at the Last Supper.
But
maybe.
I mean, that's the Last
It
Supper.
doesn't say, and then Jesus took the wine
and drank it.
He said he passed around the cup. Who knows?
Who knows? But water was turned into wine. But say because you have to drink water to survive, right?
Yeah.
But that was turned into wine. So, but
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Also, it's a vow that people took for a period of time. So it's possible to be a Nazarite for a while
and then
not be a Nazarite.
Okay.
Also, so then maybe that was, how Jesus did the wine drinking thing. But also, those people that I mentioned, those were the people in the Bible who were Nazarites for their whole life.
Okay. I have one.
You have a question?
I have another
Are you going to ask Aaron something?
I don't know.
Ask Daddy.
Wait, what was... Okay. Wait. Because Samson's really strong, right?
He was.
Did that have anything to do with, did that have anything to do with him being a Nazarite?
Well, yeah, because God gave him a gift because he promised to follow God in a special way, and his gift was his strength.
That's cool.
Yeah. Has God ever told you that if you don't cut your hair and you don't drink wine or beer...
I've already cut my hair.
Well, you could have been strong.
He never told me anything.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in to Ask Aaron and Ask Ezekiel Aaron. I think this has gone well. Maybe we'll have a special guest sometime again in the future. As always...
It's fun.
Fun? Yeah.
Maybe.
As always, you can follow us on all social media accounts. You can follow us on YouTube. You can watch our services on YouTube, Facebook, or hillcityhudson.org or the Hill City app, or join us in person.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just come.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
It is.
There's cookies and, sometimes cookies. And there's coffee for grown-ups, right?
There is some.
You don't like coffee, do you?
I don't.
And there's tea.
hillcityhudson.org. We would love to have you join us. St. Pat's Education Center, downtown Hudson, 10 a.m. That's it for Ask Aaron this week. We'll talk to you next time.
See ya.